Hello and welcome to the MCQ lecture series. In today's class, I'll be dealing with some of the important MCQs with respect to macroeconomics. So let's get started. In this class, I'll be talking about the four sector model for circular flow of income. So let's get started. The first question is, dash is an important component of four sector model. So you can see here that I have drawn the four sector model, which consists of government, firm or business, foreign sector and household. So this is the four sector model. Let us look at the underlying options: A, foreign sector; B, humans; C, capital; and D, none of the above. So these three options are really obsolete when we look at the sort of four sector model which is there in the syllabus. So it is talking about household sector, government sector, business sector or firm, and foreign sector. So here the correct answer with respect to the underlying options available to us is foreign sector, and therefore option A, foreign sector, is the correct answer. Let us now move to the next question, which is talking about the gains from trade or net gains from trade. So the question is in this fashion: dash results into net gain in foreign trade. This is talking about net gain in foreign trade, which increases the magnitude of circular flow. When will we have net gain in foreign trade so that it increases the magnitude of circular flow? It will happen if exports are greater than imports. That means what you are selling is more as compared to what you are getting yourself or what you are importing. The second is with respect to exports are less than imports. Then we have exports are equal to imports and none of the above. So here, for us to have net gain in foreign trade, we will have to sell more as compared to getting more. So exports have to be greater than imports, and therefore option A, exports have to be greater than imports, is the correct answer. That means exports, when are greater than imports, that will result into net gain in foreign trade, which in turn will have an increasing effect on the magnitude of circular flow of income. So I hope this question is pretty much clear. Exports got to be greater than imports. Let us now move to the next question, which is talking about when will we experience net loss in foreign trade. Net loss, we have seen the case for net gain. The case for net loss is when my exports are, or when my imports are greater than my exports. That means either way around, if I write it this way or if I write it this way, it is going to not make any greater difference. But yeah, when my imports are greater as compared to exports, that means I have to shell out more money to buy stuff rather than what I am earning by selling more stuff out. So now let us look at what are the underlying options. The first is exports are greater than imports. That is not the condition we want. If at all there is loss, we want this to be true. That means imports are greater than exports, that which is the second option, that is exports are less than imports. The third is exports are equal to imports, and none of the above. So here this is true. This can be alternatively written as this: imports are greater than exports. Okay, so you might have just pay attention to how the options are really framed, so that will help you. So this is the correct answer. That means imports are greater than exports, and as a result of that we are experiencing net loss in foreign trade, and as a result of that there is a decrease in the magnitude of circular flow of income per se in the four sector model. I hope both these questions are clear. The third is obviously when do we have, or it leaves the circular flow unchanged. That is only possible when there is an equality between the two. That means this case, when exports are equal to imports, that leaves circular flow unaffected. In both these cases, in the first case when we had net gain in foreign trade, the circular flow, the magnitude of the same was increasing. When we had net loss in the circular flow, the magnitude was decreasing, and when there is equality between exports and imports, the underlying circular flow remains unaffected. So that is why option C is the correct answer to this particular question. I hope these three questions are pretty much clear. Let us now move to the next question, which is talking about, in a four sector model, in terms of exports, there is an outflow. In terms of exports, there is an outflow of dash from the firms and inflow and the outflow of dash for households. So I am looking at the outflow, both the cases I am looking at outflow. Okay, in case of exports, I'm looking at outflow of dash in terms of firms, what the firms are selling out and what the households are selling out. So let us look at what the firms are selling out and what the households are selling out. When we look at this model, the households are selling out their labor, okay, and the firms, now since these receipts I am getting, these receipts are obviously for my exports. That means firms are selling some goods and services for which they are getting receipts. That means this is talking about exports. When we look at this, we are paying some money for the goods and services which we are going to receive from the foreign sector. This is called as imports. Please mind you, this payment which is going from business firm to foreign sector, this represents imports, and the receipts which you are getting, that means the firm sold some goods and services to the foreign sector, and for that they are receiving certain receipts, and that is called as exports. Okay, this is representing exports. So we now know that whenever we are looking at the exports in a 4-sector model, there is a outflow of dash for the firms. What is the outflow for the firms? The firms are selling, outflow is of goods and services. Okay, so goods and services. And in case of household, what is the outflow? The outflow is of labor. So let us look at the underlying options. The first is money and goods and services. No. Second is goods and services and labor. That means the outflow of goods and services in case of firms and outflow of labor in case of households. The third is labor and money. It doesn't make sense, none of the above. So here I have told you there is an outflow of labor in terms of exports, in terms of households, and there is an outflow of goods and services in case of firms. So option B, goods and services and labor, is the correct answer. That means in a 4-sector model in terms of exports, there is an outflow of goods from the firm side and labor from the household side. So I hope this question is pretty much clear. Very important question, tricky question. You have to look at the model per se to understand that. That is why I have drawn the model here. Let us now move to the next question. In a 4-sector model, here I was looking at exports, here I am looking at imports. Now in a 4-sector model in terms of imports, there is an outflow of dash and inflow of dash. Now here are two different things I am asking. First I am asking outflow of dash, and second I am asking inflow of dash. In terms of imports I am looking at. Okay, so whenever we are importing something, we are going to, the outflow is going to be of money, because you are going to import something. That means I am importing a good or service, and for that I have to pay certain money. So outflow is always of money and inflow is always of the goods and services. So let us look at the underlying options. I hope you are getting it. Here I am looking at imports, and specifically I am asking what is the outflow, what is going away from the country and what is coming in the country. Money is going out from the country and goods and services are coming towards the country when there is import per se. Okay, so let us look at the underlying options. The first option is money and goods and services, which is the correct option. Second is goods and services and money. Goods and services are not going out and money is not coming in. It is the other way around. Goods and services are coming in and money is going out. Okay, third is capital and labor, which is obsolete, and none of the above. So here I hope this question is pretty much clear. Money and goods and services when it is about imports. Okay, so I hope this question makes sense to you. Let us now move to the next question, which is talking about the real flow and money flow. The first question is with respect to real flow. In the 4-sector model, real flow consists of dash. Real flow consists of dash. Okay, real flow consists of, now here we will see, let us just look at the business and foreign sector only. The real flow is in terms of when we are looking at exports, the real flow is of goods and services, and whenever we are looking at imports, okay, imports, then again the real flow is of goods and services. Now when you are exporting the good or service, that is called as real flow, and for this real flow you are getting receipts or money, which is called as the money flow in terms of exports. Similarly, in terms of imports, what is happening is you are getting goods and services from the foreign sector for which you are sending some payments, which is again a money flow. So in both the cases, in terms of exports as well as imports, the real flow is of goods and services. Okay, so I hope that is pretty much clear. Let us now look at the underlying options. Real flow, it is of imports and exports of goods and services, inflow and outflow of capital, labor, and none of the above. So this is what I have explained you with these two, taking into account when what is happening when there is export and what is happening when there is import, both the real flow and the money flow in terms of foreign sector and business firm taking or trading with each other. So here the correct answer in terms of real flow is the import and export of goods and services. Okay, so I hope this point is pretty much clear. Let us now move to the next point or last question, which is talking about the money flow here. Now specifically money flow I am asking. Now let us look at the underlying options. Inflow and outflow of capital, import and export of goods, labor, and none of the above. So here the correct answer in terms of money flow, we can look at the capital is moving. For exports you are going to get certain receipts, which is a money flow. For imports you are going to send some money to the other side. From this household's angle, for real flow is the labor which you are sending, and for this labor you are going to get money or remittance, which is a money flow. So here there is involvement of capital in 1, 2 and 3. This capital is the monetary form of it. So therefore it is the inflow and outflow of capital in terms of money, a money flow per se, and therefore option A is the correct answer. Now inflow and outflow of capital is happening on two counts. When there is exports from business firms to the foreign, the inflow happens. That means money is flowing towards the business firm. Okay, when there is imports, money is flowing away from the business firm towards the household. Similarly, in case of households, money is going to flow towards the household for whatever services the labor is going to give. So this is how inflow and outflow of capital per se can be understood when we have a four sector sort of a model. I hope it doesn't make it all the more worse if at all we are looking at the real flow, money flow and things like that. But anyways, just remember this diagram and it will be really easy for you to understand how the real flow and money flow works and what are the ways in which different sectors take part in the foreign trade per se. So I hope this exercise of multiple choice questions with the help of this diagram is going to make sure that you answer questions with respect to four sector model. Please stay tuned for more. Thank you.